You keep waiting for the perfect moment, but it never comes. You keep chasing perfection, but it doesn't exist. You say you'll start tomorrow. You say you'll begin when you're ready. But what if ready never comes? Nothing is perfect in this world. Not your life. Not your circumstances. Not your timing. And that's exactly why you must move now. Because while you're sitting there waiting, time is not waiting for you. Most people spend their lives planning, and they die with their dreams still inside them. 95% of people leave this world with music unplayed, stories unwritten, goals unfulfilled. Because they waited for the right moment. The perfect body. The perfect partner. The perfect motivation. Wake up. It's not coming. You either build with broken pieces, or you stay broken forever. You either act while you're scared, or live your whole life in regret. So what are you going to do? This is your moment. This is your wake-up call that let's get something straight. Life will never be perfect. Your plans? They'll fall apart. People? They'll disappoint you. Mistakes? You'll make hundreds. But none of that gives you permission to stop. None of that is a reason to give up. You think you're stuck because life is unfair. You think you haven't started because your timing isn't right. But here's the truth. You're not stuck because of your situation. You're stuck because of your mindset. You keep telling yourself, I'll begin when I have more time. I'll start when I feel motivated. I'll go all in when I'm ready. Let me say this loud and clear. That moment? That perfect moment you're waiting for? It's not coming. There is no right time. There is no perfect path. There is only now. You think success happens in ideal conditions? Success happens in messy, uncomfortable, terrifying conditions. While you're scared, while you're doubting yourself, while everything around you is falling apart, and you choose to rise anyway. Stop lying to yourself. You are not waiting for the right time. You are avoiding the pain of starting. You are running from the discomfort of growth. But guess what? Perfection is a myth. Progress is power. Say it again. Perfection is a myth. Progress is power. One more time. Perfection is a myth. Progress is power. You want change? You want results? Then you've got to stop waiting for things to feel right. You've got to start even when you're uncertain. Even when you're tired. Even when you're afraid. Because if you wait until you're ready, you'll wait for the rest of your life. Let me ask you something. How many years have you wasted? How many more are you willing to throw away? Look at your life. Really look at it. Where would you be right now if you had started when you first thought about it? How far would you have come if you had stopped making excuses 2 years ago? What would your life look like if you hadn't waited for things to be perfect? Let that sink in. Now here's the scariest part. Nothing changes until you do. The world doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't pause for your fear. It keeps moving, with or without you. So either you get up, or you get left behind. No one is coming to give you permission. No one is going to hand you the perfect opportunity. You have to take it. You have to create it. This is your responsibility, your dream, your battle, and the clock is ticking. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop chasing a flawless plan that doesn't exist. You don't need perfect. You just need to start. Say it with me. I don't need perfect. I just need to move. I don't need perfect. I just need to believe. I don't need perfect. I just need to try. You want more? Then become more. You want to win? Then start acting like a winner, even if you're scared, even if you're unsure. The world doesn't reward perfection. It rewards courage. It rewards consistency. It rewards those who move even when everything in them says to stop. So what's it going to be? More excuses? Or your evolution? You've wasted enough time. Now is the time to move. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to fight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. No. He was just a boy when he first picked up a paintbrush. Colors felt like freedom to him. Every stroke, every shade, every canvas, it felt like breathing. His dream? To create the perfect painting, one that would live on forever. But life, as always, had its own plans. By the time he turned 17, his hands had started to tremble. Doctors called it a rare neurological condition. Nothing fatal, but something that would stay with him forever. A small tremor, constant. Enough to make every line waver. Every detail blur. He was shattered. His classmates laughed behind his back. An artist with shaky hands? What a joke. You'll never paint straight again. You were never that good anyway. He stopped showing his work. He stopped trying. He stopped believing. Because in his mind, if he couldn't paint perfectly, he didn't deserve to paint at all. Days turned into months. He isolated himself in his room, surrounded by blank canvases. He'd sit for hours, brush in hand, frozen by fear. Fear of imperfection. Fear of mockery. Fear that he'd never be good enough again. And one night, something inside him broke. He grabbed his brush in frustration and just painted. Wild, raw, messy. Trembling lines. Shaky colors. No control. No plan. He poured his pain into every stroke. He painted not with perfection, but with rage. With sorrow. With scars. And when the sun rose, he looked at the canvas and froze. It was imperfect, but it was alive. It carried emotion in every uneven line. It told a story, his story, in ways a perfect painting never could. And for the first time in years, he smiled that he didn't stop there. Every day he painted more. With tremors. With flaws. With brutal honesty. His art began to shift. It no longer aimed to impress. It aimed to express. And people noticed. He posted a single painting online, titled, "The Storm Inside My Hands." It went viral. People connected with it. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Soon, an art curator from New York reached out. She'd seen his work. She felt something she hadn't felt in years, truth. She invited him to exhibit at one of the top galleries in Manhattan. When the night came, he stood in the corner of the hall, nervous, silent, unsure. People walked past his work and stopped. Some cried. Some stared for minutes without speaking. Critics called it hauntingly beautiful. An emotional revolution in modern art. Proof that raw imperfection is more powerful than polished lies. He was stunned. The boy who once thought he was broken, the boy who almost gave up on his dream, had become a voice for the unheard, a symbol for every person who felt like their flaws made them less. But here's the truth. His flaws made him unforgettable. Had he painted perfectly, he would have been just another artist. But his trembling hands created emotion no perfection ever could. He once wanted perfection. But what the world truly needed was his truth. So let me ask you, what if your flaws are the very thing the world needs? What if your brokenness is where your power lives? What if your imperfections aren't obstacles, but tools? You keep hiding your scars. But maybe your scars are the map to someone else's healing. You keep trying to be flawless. But maybe it's your flaws that will make you stand out. You keep chasing perfection like it's the answer. But maybe the answer has been inside your imperfections all along. The broken painter didn't succeed despite his flaws. He succeeded because of them. So ask yourself, what if the very thing you're trying to hide is exactly what makes you powerful? What if the world isn't waiting for your perfection, but for your truth? Break audiences' toxic beliefs about perfect life. Let's get one thing straight right now. Perfection is a lie. It's a toxic belief. And if you keep chasing it, you're only running in circles. Listen carefully. Perfect is boring. Perfect is fake. Perfect doesn't move people. Perfect doesn't inspire change. The world doesn't crave perfect people, perfect lives, or perfect things. The world craves real. Think about the most powerful moments in your life. Were they perfect? They were messy. They were raw. They were filled with flaws. But guess what? That's where your power lives. That's where your beauty is. In your mistakes, your struggles, your scars. Not in your polished, perfected mask. Now, take a moment. What's one thing you've been hiding because it's not perfect? Maybe it's your body. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's the way you speak or your relationships. Well, let me tell you something. Your scars tell your story. Your pain built your strength. Your imperfections made you who you are. And if you keep trying to hide them, you're denying the world your true power. Here's the harsh truth. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be flawless to succeed. You don't need to be ready. You just need to start. Say it with me. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be powerful. I don't need to be flawless. I just need to be real. Say it again. Say it until you believe it. I just need to be real. Because the world needs you, the real you. The imperfect, messy, broken, yet unstoppable you. Think about it. You can wait your whole life, sitting in the shadows, hoping one day you'll be perfect. Or you can start living today. You can step into your power right now, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's not what you expected. And that's the difference. The perfect life doesn't exist. But a real life, your real life, that's unstoppable. And the best part? You hold the key to it. So here's the challenge. You can either keep waiting for a perfect version of yourself, or you can start living as the real version of yourself. The choice is yours. The question is, are you ready to embrace your imperfections and let them become your power? Because, let's face it, the world doesn't need another perfect image. It needs you raw, real, and relentless. The question isn't whether you're ready to be perfect, it's whether you're ready to be powerful, unstoppable, and real. Are you ready to stop waiting? More emotional, real-life relatable comeback. She had nothing but determination and a baby to feed. Her name was Sarah, a single mom who found herself at the lowest point in life. No college degree, no stable job, no safety net, just bills piling up and a dream that seemed too far to reach. Her days were spent working 2 jobs. She barely slept, barely ate, barely had time to breathe. Life was far from perfect. Her clothes were worn out, her car was old, and her apartment was small. But Sarah had one thing that no amount of hardship could take away: her will to survive. She knew she had to do something. But what? One night, after another long shift, she sat on her worn-out couch, scrolling on her phone when she came across a video on YouTube. It was about starting a business. Not a degree-required business, but a small one. Something she could manage from home. A beauty product line. She had no experience. She had no idea how to make skincare products. But she was tired of just surviving. She wanted to thrive. She didn't wait for the perfect moment or for all the stars to align. She started learning on YouTube, from blogs, from free resources she could find online. She made mistake after mistake, watching her first batches of products fail miserably. Her kitchen was a mess, her baby crying in the background, and yet she kept going. It wasn't easy. There were days when she didn't know how she was going to keep the lights on. Days when she doubted everything, including herself. But she learned to embrace those mistakes, because each one brought her closer to what she was trying to create. After 3 years of working through the night, with no sleep and minimal support, Sarah's efforts began to pay off. Her skincare products, the ones that started in her kitchen, began gaining attention. She built a brand from the ground up, with nothing more than grit and a drive to make a change. Her products were unlike anything in the market. They were authentic, and people saw that. Her brand started small, but it grew fast. By the time she hit her 3rd year, she was a multi-million-dollar business owner. What started as a dream in her kitchen became a force to be reckoned with. She didn't have the perfect plan. She didn't have the perfect knowledge. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She just started. And that made all the difference. If Sarah, with no degree, no money, and no support, can build an empire from nothing, then what's your excuse? Are you really waiting for the perfect moment, or are you just waiting for permission to start? Sarah's story is proof that perfection isn't necessary for success. You don't need everything to line up. You just need to start, and that's the only thing that really matters. Urgency create karna, now high action Lena high. Enough is enough. No more waiting. No more maybe laters, or I'll do it tomorrow. Start now. Start messy. Start scared. But start. Perfection will never come. You will never feel ready. You'll never feel like you have it all together, and that's okay. Because action is what brings confidence, not the other way around. Every second you wait, you're falling behind. The longer you delay, the more you're giving up on your dreams, your goals, your potential. The fear, the doubt, the excuses, they'll always be there. But guess what? The clock doesn't stop ticking. So while you keep saying, maybe later, someone else is already starting, already taking action, already moving closer to what they want. You're not stuck because of your situation. You're stuck because of your mindset. You're waiting for a sign? This is it. You're waiting for the perfect conditions? They'll never come. Start today. Do that thing you've been putting off for weeks, months, years. Apply for that job. Speak up in that meeting. Start that business. Record that video. Launch that project. Just move. The longer you wait, the more you're robbing yourself of your own future. You'll never feel ready, but you'll be amazed at how much further you'll go the moment you stop waiting. Do it now. Take that first step, even if it's messy. Confidence comes only after action. You've got to move. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. So, what's stopping you? Nothing. Call to action. Get up. Start moving. Take that first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it happen. Now, end on an unforgettable high-energy note. You have one life. One chance to make it count. Stop wasting it chasing something that doesn't exist. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect you. Perfection is an illusion, and it will hold you back. You don't need to be perfect to be successful. You don't need everything to line up just right. What the world needs is your fire, your story, your truth. It's time to rise. Let me ask you this. Are you going to spend your life chasing perfection? Or will you embrace who you truly are, flaws and all, and make something incredible with it? The world is waiting for you to show up, imperfect, raw, and real. You don't need to be flawless. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfect. The world needs your authenticity, your passion, your courage to step forward despite your fears. Will you rise above your doubts? Will you stop waiting for the ideal moment that will never come? Will you start today, right now, imperfect but unstoppable? Nothing is perfect in this world, but you can still be legendary. So, what's your choice? Will you stay stuck, waiting for perfection? Or will you take action, embrace your flaws, and rise to greatness? The choice is yours. Make it count.